Hello there. My name is Host Eric, and I am the host of Talking with Famous People, the television program that excites everyone. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about extrovert feeling, Roz, Megabro, and introverted feeling a little bit, and the single self theory that Megabro mentioned. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about FE and Roz's comment and why I like it so much as a way to, because of what it reveals about basically FE. Okay, so her comment was this. It was along the lines of, is it possible that your SI is so bad because you are displaying bad SI as a means of accomplishing FE goals? In other words, it's consistent with the ENTP character that you be SI, and that you might discover that works socially in some sense to be bad SI, and therefore you display that for the social outcome purposes. Well, I certainly do think it's quite possible that I display all sorts of things for the social outcome purposes. In fact, it might be a pretty exact description of me to say that at the end of the day, that's why I do most things that are visible. That are visible, right? So that's certainly a good theory. It's a good, sound theory. But I would draw the distinction, and I think I would be correct in doing so, between the things that FE is allowed to touch and the things that FE is not allowed to touch. So, because remember, it is third in line. It is not the dominant function, it's the motivational function. It's not how I do shit, it's why I do shit. So, a takeaway from that distinction is it's kind of like a team owner of a professional team. It doesn't really have anything to do with the team's success besides hiring the general manager, who then does everything else. Except in this instance, to use a slightly different sports analogy, it's kind of like a super helpful team mom / assistant coach for a football team, so that FE drives Innie and TI to the playing field and always chooses the right playing field for her. Which is, she chooses playing fields in which I'm going to be achieving social outcomes one way or the other, bad or good. And FE's saying, look, homie, ultimately, you've got in front of you one currency that you understand, really. The only one that you really understand. And that is, other people like you, other people are giving you affirmation, or they're not. The opposite, So, let's do it right. That's the currency we're getting paid in. Let's make sure we get paid handsomely. And let's try to, let's try to earn it as best you can. Be cool, be nice, don't be a dick. Help people. Then maybe they'll like you more, like that kind of thing. So, on that level, it has a limited scope of authority because it gets to choose that, and it always gets to choose that, but we, meaning me and extroverted thinking, me being an E, we don't necessarily do what it wants at all. So, I sort of intellectually, T.I. agrees with its basic principles, FE's principles, but primarily it goes along with NE. I mean, it has to. Everybody does. He's driving the fucking bus that the team mom's driving a bus inside of to get him to the playing field. So, I guess I don't think I was having 2 male and 2 female parts. No, I don't. I think it's having 3 female and 1 male. I mean, 3 male and 1 female part. Because when I talk about NE, I refer to it as him. T.I. I refer to it as him. And FE as her. And I was thinking about SI. I actually think of SI as being like a sort of genderless little kid, you know. But I guess I refer to SI as him. And when I was about to say I refer to SI or think of SI as her, it just struck me as no, that's not the case. You think of SI as him too. But I do think of FE as her, which is weird. Self theory, and that additionally he says that these cognitive functions basically get votes, and that for internal feeling, if you're oh wow. Anyway, there was an accident right there I looked at. And the cop stopped in the middle of the road, so I got a little externally distracted. So, the thing about FI is, okay, it gets a bunch of votes. Like, well, because the single self theory says that there's just sort of one person who's got a clear feeling on things, I guess, or a clear position. And what I would say basically is, it's funny, he says the single self theory, and that fits nicely with my different functions talking to each other, and 3 of them being male and 1 of them being female. But I didn't think of it as pretending. It's more like the single vector fallacy, that to imagine that anything is being adjudicated on a single vector is always incorrect. And because certain argument chains are brought to the forefront, doesn't eliminate from existence other possible argument chains that aren't addressed at all. So the issue here for me is more one of argument chains. And in that regard, FE would seem to really only get 1 vote. Now, it considers lots of factors, but it gets 1 vote, whereas NE and TI get multiple votes. Because FE's matter is decided early on, and then there is a certain amount of FE will check to make sure we're on the right path. You know, we'll notice when somebody's pissed off. Guys, he's not happy, and remember the big picture plan we have, which playing field we're on and how we score points? Yeah, okay, we noticed it. Shut up. Oh, I noticed it and I told you. Okay, you noticed it and you told us. Thank you. Now shut up. I'm busy here. We're trying to kick someone's fucking ass. Guys, nobody likes that. Listen, Eric. What? Listen, I know you think it's edgy and it sounds cool and everything, but people just think you're an asshole. you need to go back up into the coaching box. I will put the headset on, and I will turn it on when I want to hear from you. Okay? Go. Now. Go to the box. Fucking FE. Okay, so anyway, T.I., what were we talking about? Wow, you got tough there for a second, Annie. That sounded like me. I like to try new things. I don't normally act like that. Good thing FE's gone, huh? Totally, dude. That bitch is so annoying. I know. Well, anyway, she is the one who pays our paychecks. Ah, you got a point. You want to go get some cheese? Eric, we're in the middle of coaching a football game right now. Oh, is that metaphor still on? Okay. Like that, right? That's Eric having a conversation with himself, and he's kicked Effie out of the equation pretty early on, is the point. Okay, talk to you later.